Aren't you tired of the endless cycle of getting dressed? Or just finding it hard to choose the right outfit in the morning? I'm Kate, I'm a licensed therapist, and today we really need to talk about clothes because somehow mine are linked to my identity, and by changing my whole wardrobe, I figured out how to be a happier person. Go figure.
So this is typically a sensitive subject for women for a lot of different reasons. We put a lot of beauty standards on clothes. We put a lot of self-worth into clothes and self-image. And we don't really talk about it, and I think it's about time. So recently, I've noticed I don't really like the clothes that I have. They don't make me feel good. I don't think I look good in them. And then I keep buying new stuff that I'm being influenced to buy off of Amazon because it's cheap, or off of TikTok or Instagram. It doesn't look good. I need to stop. I need to stop being influenced. I don't need your influence. We're going to talk about why I've been feeling this way to then understand what I want to do about it. Emotions wise, obviously, when you don't feel like you look good in your clothes, it doesn't really boost your confidence. It doesn't really make you feel good. I've been feeling very old recently because I feel like every time I put on something trendy, it looks bad. I keep seeing TikToks of millennials trying to wear sweatsuits, and they're like, I look like a dad, not like a trendy hot girl. I look like Tim Allen from Santa Claus. It's not very good. That sums up how I feel. But after kind of thinking about this video and what I wanted to say, I started to realize why I have collected this wardrobe that doesn't feel like me. I go in my closet and I'm like, these are not my clothes. These are some other girl's clothes. They would look good on somebody else. They don't look good on me, so they're not mine. And that's weird. What is the actual deeper issue? I think for me, it's been the fact that I've moved a lot in my life. From high school, I lived outside of Atlanta. I lived in the burbs, basically. My shop was American Eagle. I had all the graphic tees, easy to shop for. I was very small. I was a size 2. And fashion and clothes didn't really come into mind until later in adulthood. College wasn't really an issue, but I did have an issue of trying to dress for warmer weather or like colder weather. I wanted to be warmer in the colder weather. But until after college, Corey went to med school in like South Georgia, Middle Georgia. It's really Middle Georgia, but to me it's South. Anything south of Atlanta is South. Sorry, not sorry. Moving down there, I realized I didn't need all this cold weather gear, and I just needed t-shirts, and I needed as minimal clothes as possible because my skin was melting off my body. That didn't really make me feel good in clothes either. But then after he got done with medical school, we moved up to the Tennessee mountains, like Johnson City, Bristol area. It was very country, not what I'm used to coming from Atlanta, obviously. And I wanted to play around with style. I was a young adult. I was fresh into my career, and I could be professional. I could be whatever I wanted to be. And in my head as a teenager, I was like, I'm gonna grow up and I'm gonna wear pencil skirts and heels and look dressed up and look really good. Okay, well, I didn't want to be that anymore. I didn't want to be Barbie, but I did want to wear suits, and I wanted to wear like street style. I wanted to wear tennis shoes, and not tennis shoes, but like white sneakers and suits and blazers and look cool and awesome. And I tried that for a while. It was not well received. Had a client come in one time and I was wearing a plaid suit with like a black t-shirt underneath and white sneakers. It was cute, okay? It was very cute. But he was like, oh, I like your outfit. And I was like, oh, thanks. And he was like, yeah, you remind me a lot of Pee Wee Herman. That was not the look I'm going for. I don't think that's a look anyone should go for. Not in terms of style, but I don't want to imitate Pee Wee Herman. I don't think anyone should want to imitate Pee Wee Herman. So that's just a thing. So that was a real confidence opposite of booster, whatever that is. So fast forward, after Corey's release from medical education, he's off to the real world, and we moved to Asheville, North Carolina, which was a lovely place. I love Asheville. But if you know anything about Asheville, it is the hippy dippy shit of the East Coast. Very much so. I adopted my style to the city. I wanted to be a little grungier, a little more boho, a little bit more free-spirited. And I probably went a little too far. I split dyed my hair orange. for fun colors. Why not? And then it turned yellow. That was not a good look. Yellow was not good. It did not mean to be yellow, but from orange you can't really get back to blonde, so it's yellow. Anyway, turns out I didn't really like or vibe with the boho grunge hippie style either. I'm not very granola. I don't like hiking. I like outside. I don't like outdoors. If you know, you know. So now we're back into what I would call a bigger city. Charlotte's a bigger city. It has its own airport, okay? And by airport, I mean it flies directly out. It doesn't have a connecting flight. I am just now getting to a place where I feel comfortable again in what I'm wearing. And really, this whole idea of changing your wardrobe for where you live and for the climate is bullshit. It's bullshit, man. It doesn't make you feel good. You shouldn't dress for the heat or the cold. I mean, you should, but like, don't just dress for the city that you live in. Dress for you. Dress for what you like and what you vibe with, not what everyone else around you is wearing. So you might be thinking, Kate, why does that matter? This is just a normal part of life. Like, everyone goes through this. Or maybe you're thinking, Kate, you're being dramatic. It's just clothes. But what if I were to tell you there's actually a psychology experiment about this? In 2012, Galinsky and Adams did a social experiment and tested whether or not clothes actually made an impact on our moods. So I'm gonna explain it really quick. In experiment number 1, they did most of these experiments on college-age kids. They were around 20 in age, and the first experiment had 58 people, and they split them into 2 different groups. They had people that got to wear white coats and people that didn't. And they were given the Stroop test, which this is where there is a incongruence with both the color and the word. So what they did is the people that did not have lab coats on, they had to do this experiment, and the people that did have lab coats on also had to do this experiment. And what they found was that the people with the lab coats actually performed better than the people not wearing the lab coats. But for them, just having a physical wearing of something wasn't enough to test. So they did a second experiment in which they increased their sample size again to 74 students this time, and they split that amongst 3 different groups. They had 2 with lab coats and 1 without. So there were 2 different groups wearing the lab coats, and what made them special was they assigned different meanings to lab coats. So one group was assigned the meaning of being a doctor, and the other group was assigned being a painter. They were given 4 different pictures, and they were said, spot the difference between these 2 pictures. And so what they found out was the people wearing the doctor's lab coat performed way better than the other 2 groups. So if you don't like experiments, let me put it to you plainly. In terms of human development, clothes are really, really important. Because just think about it. Picking out your own clothes was probably the first thing you did as a human being. You were probably, 2? I don't know how old you were when your mom was like, do you want to wear these socks or these socks? Do you want to wear pink or purple? But chances are you were really young. So even as a toddler, these are things that you were just learning how to express your autonomy and just express yourself in general. But move on to childhood. Think about it this way. You were playing dress up for a long time. Now, we just talked about that experiment, but really and truly, dress up seems to be the exact depiction of that experiment. You put on a lab coat as a kid and you're like, I'm a doctor. You put on, I don't know, a fireman's helmet and you're like, I'm a fireman. You put on cat ears and you're like, I'm a cat. So it gives the exact replication of what you put on matters, and it affects how you see yourself. So if you were to put on a clown nose as a kid, you might feel a little embarrassed. You might feel like, oh, I'm a clown. I make people laugh, but I'm also funny and people laugh at me. So you see how that symbolic meaning can make a really big difference. Now, fast forward into our teen years. This one's really tricky because in your teen years, you're really dressing to fit in and to establish a sense of culture. You have a flag to rally behind. I mean, you can look back to high school and know that all the goth kids shopped at Spencer's. Maybe you were a goth kid that shopped at Spencer's, and that's okay. But we had these specific stores that we were very loyal to, and we just shopped there and wore whatever they told us to wear or what we liked from their store. So we still got to express ourselves, but it still had a lot of rules, and not to mention dress codes at school, which also give you limiting rules. Now moving into young adulthood, now we're outside of school, we don't have dress codes, but do we? We kind of do, because entering the workforce, you kind of do have a dress code. Your dress code now is work. If you're a nurse, you're wearing scrubs. If you work in a business office, you're wearing business casual, or maybe you're wearing a suit if you're really fancy. The point is, we start to shift from dressing for ourselves to dressing for our job. And now, if you're like me, you're in adulthood. You're not quite a young adult anymore. People are considering you sometimes old, and that's okay. But we're having a crisis here. We've been in the work field for a while, and we're like, okay, I know what to wear at work. What do I wear grocery shopping? What do I wear taking my kid out to McDonald's? What do I wear if I just want to go on a date with my husband? All of these have different dresses, and it gets really confusing. And if you're anything like me, you realize the pandemic really screwed you over. You have no idea what's in your closet. All of it sucks anyway. And you look like a hobo, or you look like Adam Sandler, I don't know. I've been mistaken several times as a dog walker. I don't know how, but we'll save that story for another time. Anyway, the point is, clothing changes over the course of your lifetime, and we have different developmental stages that we go through. Okay, so I get that it's a lot of work, and you know what? Really, I've been there. I've done this. I've been stuck in this negative cycle of, I don't like my wardrobe. Okay, let me revamp it. But then it leads to overspending, not wearing things, and just a lot of heartbreak. But I found a solution. So I'm gonna walk you through a 4-step process. So in this first step, we're gonna be doing some prep work. So first, I said you need to define your values. You're gonna look at your life and think about what you want to do in it. And that doesn't make sense. Why is that related to clothes? But it is. So do you want to be hiking a lot? What kind of activities do you enjoy doing? Do you like being outside and getting gross and dirty? Do you have little ones that are running around and you get dirty whether you like it or not? Your clothes should reflect the style of life that you have. So for me, comfort and movability is a huge one for me. Because as a therapist, I am getting up, I am actually doing things with my clients, I'm on the floor with kiddos sometimes. My ability to move around is very important, so my clothes need to be able to move. I don't want to be in a bodycon dress. I also want to feel timeless and elegant, and I value minimalism, so I want to keep things kind of minimal. So your values are going to impact your wardrobe in a way, or at least they should. And the second part of finding your values is, what desired feeling do you want to feel in these clothes? I never thought about this before. I just had this like ideal self. I was like, I'm gonna be powerful and beautiful and this boss woman, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna be wearing high heels. No one's gonna be wearing high heels. No one's that girl. Some people are that girl, but I'm not that girl. But I do wanna feel powerful. I wanna feel pretty. I wanna feel effortless and put together. So these are going to reflect my wardrobe. I don't want to have a bunch of loose fitting things that look like I just woke up. I want things to be a little bit more cohesive and planned and put together. So your desired feelings is also going to impact your wardrobe. So for me, the next part is really fun, but it might be the worst part for you. But now we have to find some inspiration. And I recommend creating a Pinterest board like you can see here. Fill it with, you're gonna go through this several times. So first, you're just gonna go through Pinterest, you're gonna look at anything, pin everything to the board. Everything that you might like, that you think might fit your style, that you just feel inspired or in awe of, pin it. Then you're gonna go back to the board and you're gonna delete anything that doesn't match, doesn't fit together. You're going to refine that style board. So this is gonna leave you with a very cohesive and I guess well executed style guide.
So now that you've found your inspiration, it's time to go through your wardrobe. You've named it. You've named your new style. Maybe it's boho chic, maybe it's classy, maybe it's quiet luxury. I don't care what you call it, but it's you. Now go see if your clothes fit that vibe. Is this cute? Yes, I think so. Is it classy? Probably not. It could be. The point is, get rid of it. It doesn't fit you anymore. But don't go crazy. Don't go around getting rid of all your clothes. Suddenly you're gonna be naked if you get rid of all your clothes. Put it to the side. See if you can style it 3 different ways. If you still can't find a place for it after trying 3 times, Marie Kondo that shit. I like plaid. I'm not a huge flannel fan. I know, I'm just not a flannel girly. But has it given me a lot of warmth around campfires and camping trips? Yes. Do I want to live that lifestyle anymore? No, I don't want to go camping. So I don't really have a need for this anymore. So thank you for the time that you've served, flannel. I don't need you. So I think this is the fun part. You might not think it's the fun part. No, we're not going shopping yet. We're going to organize and execute. And what I mean by organize is you're gonna create a list of pieces you would like to have, like I've done here. We just went through our closet and found out what you do have. We found out that you have a denim shirt. We found out that you have a black blazer that you like. We found out that you have black Chelsea boots that you like. Okay, great. Make it a checklist and check off the things that you have, and then you now know what you need. Now you can go shopping. And shopping is hit or miss, I know it. People either love it or they hate it. These are some of my favorite pieces that I've collected over the past few months, and I've used them a lot. They're pretty versatile, and that's what you're really gonna look for is versatility. Can I use this a few different ways? If you're buying sequin pants, make sure that you're gonna wear sequin pants a lot, because that's the whole point here, is wearing things that you are going to wear again and that make you feel good. So I get it. You're thinking this is gonna take too much time. This is gonna be too much money. I can't do this. Let me tell you something. This does not happen overnight. This has taken me months, if not years, to execute in the making, and it's gonna be some trial and error, but you can break it down into bite-sized pieces. Work within your resources. Go thrifting. Pick up a few pieces. Sell your pieces that you don't wear anymore or gift them away, whatever you want to do. The point is, take it one step at a time. Okay, so how has this actually changed my life? I feel more confident. I feel a little more put together. I'm not racking my brain, but as weird as it sounds, getting dressed in the morning and putting together like an outfit that actually is not sweatpants or leggings has made me a little less depressed. Like, I've noticed my mood has picked up a little bit more. Also, I've noticed I don't buy stupid shit anymore. I am de-influenced now. It is official. I see things online and on TikTok and on Instagram, and I'm like, that's so cute. And then I look at it and I'm like, that doesn't fit my style. That doesn't fit my rules. I don't need that. So yeah, it's actually given me a lot of clarity and a lot of direction for my life. Okay, doke folks, I got my coffee. We are ready to rumble. People are gonna see you differently than you want to be seen. Take it with a grain of salt. Let that blow off your shoulder. It's not about them, it's about you. And it's about you finding clothes that fit your style and your personality and making you feel put together and confident and good. But also find clothes that fit your lifestyle. Find clothes that allow you to do the things you want to do. So really, it's not about clothes as much as it is about living authentically and finding a way to live your best life that you wanted to live, and making sure that all realms of your life, clothes included, are congruent and letting you live the life you want. So that's the tea I have for you today, or the coffee. Really and truly, thanks for watching. I'm glad you stuck around to this part. Hopefully you gained some new tips, or you gained a new process of how to look at things. But if you'd like to see more of this content, please like and subscribe so I can keep making content. No, really, it helps get it to the audience that it needs to get to. So work the YouTube algorithm business, and I'll catch you later.